If they're already playing conserve, they already are playing far back, and they're not really taking any advantage of these high grounds. It's not a mandatory rotation. It kind of just wastes our time. All right, so let's remember that if they're not holding any power positions on these high grounds, and they're not actually forcing you to push them out, then don't bother taking it. Or if they don't have anything holding really close, you don't have to do that rotation. It wastes time. It's just too much. If they're playing already passive enough, there's no point in taking that rotation. All right. So they are playing passive. You don't need to do the theater rotation. So we walk in main. We have three directions to go from here. We could go through hotel, we could go through main, and we could go right side of statue. 9 times out of 10, you're not walking in main. This is a pretty niche situation to just walk in straight through main. Uh, the other times, going through hotel isn't a bad option. Maybe if they are playing these power positions and this high ground still isn't too much of a threat, hotel rotation isn't too bad. You have your tanks on presence on point here. But I would say the safest rotation and probably the best rotation is just taking right side of statue and kind of figuring out what you want to do there. Once we're here, we still have multiple plays. We can continue to kite left to go through theater. We are hotel, sorry. We still have that same play. Or if they have too much presence on point, we could just take high ground from them, right? It does the same thing this does, but in quicker time. Okay. Any questions so far?
No questions.
All right. So the way I want you guys to remember these rotations, right? Theater, that'll be A push, right? We'll say that's our A rotation, okay? Theater, through this window, take A or take mini, high ground, okay? That's A rotation. B rotation is main, hotel, okay? Main, hotel, B rotation. All right, we take hotel and we make moves from there. C rotation is right side statue, okay? And I would say C rotation, we take high ground, okay? So right side statue through mega, take high ground. All right, and then you guys could say if you don't remember this, it's fine. You could just call right side statue and then high ground or point. Okay.
Are you say? Did you name them A, B, C in order of importance, or is
Uh,
it just because like that's the order that you told us them in?
no,
Meaning
honestly,
like meaning like as the main tank, should I be looking to path A first, then B, then C? I know it's situational, but
yeah, no. It's more of just a simple way of kind of remembering it, not really by any sort of importance. If you want me to rank them, right, the best rotation is probably to take the safest
B.
route is A, right? Safest route is A. You avoid getting walled, you avoid getting spammed, and you have high ground control, but it is the longest. So you do waste time setting up. And depending on your guys' comp, it might work out, right? If you have really high ground dependent DPS, like if you need your hit scans to be set up on high ground to have some better positions, you take A rotation. But if you have a really brawly comp, taking hotel isn't a bad idea, right? So it's situational, I would say, yeah.
Okay.
But for like we really thrive on brawl comp, I would say. So playing really brawly comps with like Cream A, ideal rotation probably hotel. Probably hotel. And if they mirror match, then it'll be theater as number one. All right.
Okay.
What's up? Yeah, you end up over here. So yeah, so we'll get into depth by each rotation. So we'll go on A rotation, theater. We take theater, drop out window, go through mini, take this high ground. From this high ground, it's the same thing of going right of statue, right? But now you have high ground, right? It takes a little bit longer to set up, but now you're on high ground. And I guess it gives you one extra option, which is to be straight on high ground. But going right of stats, you still have the stairs, so it's just a longer rotation, and it gives you a little more of a wide sight line, right? So You could treat Ride of Statue and this high ground kind of the same. You can engage from anywhere you want. If you want to just drop down and go main onto point, you can. Or if you see we have better options to go behind them kind of near the hotel, you could take the long rotation and go all the way high ground and drop. Or instead, you guys can just drop, get your DPS across, right? You guys are on high ground safe, your DPS, your tanks are contesting, and we go for a little more poke, a little more of a spammy downtime until the brawl actually engages. And once the brawl engages, it'll be directly on point. So once you guys get to this point, it's kind of more on the fly. And then just whatever you guys do, make sure you're doing it as a team. It doesn't so much matter on like what's our direct path. Just whichever path you guys do go as a team, and it's a rotation for you guys, right? Now there's certain things that you obviously don't want to do. You're a brawl clump. Corners and tight spaces is where you guys thrive. You don't want to just all six of you drop off high ground in full balls to the wall, shield up, slow as fuck, right into them, right? If you all six of you are gonna drop, it's got to be fast as fuck, and we want to make sure we're playing some sort of cover, right? So if we decide from right here, and they're playing, in the typical corner, we're like, all right, we want to go. We're just gonna drop and play this corner, or rotate left and play on this corner, and we're gonna brawl the fuck out of them, right? But if we're on this high ground, it really wouldn't be the best play if they're just standing point to just drop and go straight into them, right? This is something you would think about, right? We don't have cover. They have kite ability. We really can't. So we're probably going to lose that fight just based off of them having better positioning. Any questions?
No questions.
All right, so for going hotel, it's kind of just simple. This is a tight space for brawl. If they decide to hold you off here, it's kind of just gas pedal go, or else we lose and get spammed out of it and have to do a new rotation. So if we go hotel, we got to go fast, we got to go quick, we got to go hard. Once we do manage to push out, same ideas apply just for any brawl comp in general. You want to play corners, you want to play them tight, and you want to play fast. Okay? So fast forward, we cap first point. We end up pushing, right? We end up pushing,
and on the cart.
Most of the time, if you're playing Ryan D.Va, it would be your off tank, right? D.Va would stay cart, and your support would push up, depending on your support's ult charge, and also on what they're running. So right now, we'll take this comp for an example, right? They have Monkey, Reinhardt. Say they're mirror matching you guys, okay? They're mirror matching. Fuck that Monkey Reinhardt shit. Their whole comp is weird. Say they're mirror matching you, Ryan, D.Va, Pharah, Reaper, Mercy, Lucio, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Your D.Va would stay cart, or your Pharah would stay cart. Maybe even your Reaper sometimes, right? But if you realize that your Pharah's not getting much done, and your Mercy isn't doing much, your Lucio has ultimate, your Mercy does not, just stick your Mercy on cart. And they're not threatening your Mercy, that is, right? The Reaper's not flanking, or the Pharah's not in your back line fucking bullying her. Just stick your Mercy cart, right? You still have beat to get yourself out when you're playing aggressive. Your Mercy's still getting cart progress. And if your Mercy does need help, the DPS can peel and the off tank can peel. But most cases, it'll be your off tank or your more mobile DPS. All right? Okay. So you guys cap first point, and they stop you at arch. We could go a variety of ways now. We can take right side rotation, which is more ideal than just walking in main, right? You can take a right side rotation and push out of this way, kind of on a flank side if they're holding real close, or we could take bar and take high ground and engage from behind them, right? You could also walk out through here and kind of still end up with a little more space. It just depends on how you feel their threat, right? If you feel like they're pressuring you too hard to walk out here, go for the longer rotation, and or even longer, walk out on bar. Okay? You could also just walk in main, but sometimes that just doesn't work out for you guys, right? Sometimes you find yourself having to use too much just to get through right here. And if it doesn't work once, doesn't work twice, try the other rotation. Okay?
Okay.
And then straight off of spawn, there's this door here. You could go through this high ground, take the long way around, and come out behind them either way. All right? Or even better, you don't even have to go all the way around. You could drop through this window, and it's kind of the same idea as taking the theater rotation, right? You kind of avoid this choke point and just all of you drop at once. You can do that with this window over here from spawn. Drop all at once, and we engage our brawl there. All right.
Yes.
Now this is for more. This is more for our DPS. If there's no hard brawl engaging on objective path, which is just the main street, look to take these flanks. Look to take these high grounds. Okay. Just always be looking for it. And for your off tank, if there's no hard brawl engaging, look to secure these flanks and look to secure these high grounds. Make sure there's no flanker there. Make sure there's no any cheeky plays going on behind you or on your sides. All right. For the DPS, look to take these flanks. Right. If the cart is right here, the cart's right here, reaching third or reaching second point. Fucking what's it called? Second point objective or whatever. Look to take this left side flank. Bam. You got a power position off angle flank on them. Or take this high ground. Boom. Same position, just above their shields, right? If the cart got stopped right here, right at arches, and your team decides we want to push in main, or right at bookstore, sorry, they want to push in main, you can take right side, get a behind side flank on them. Or from spawn, you take this right window flank from them, right? Just look to take these flanks in Streets phase. Streets phase is wonderful for these flanks. So many tight paths, all these high grounds you can take. It's just so good when you have these crossfires and these tight angles. They don't know what to do with you. They're either forced to look at you and give up space to your team, or lose to your team because you're peppering at them the entire fight. Okay?
Okay.
And that's if there's not a hard brawl going on. If something tight is going on and they need you on frontline because it's a one-on-one dick-to-dick battle, then get on frontline, and this is where your guys' brawl really shines. Whoever's better on brawl will win this point. Unless your DPS come up with some good flanks and good strategies to weaken the front line. Okay?
Yes.
And this goes for any streets phase. Any streets phase. The high grounds and the flanks really do powerful moves for these second phase points on push carts. Okay? For third point, most of the time, we're just going to be walking in main. Most of the time. Depending on the DPS you guys have, these high grounds, highly important. If they have their own DPS set up here, you guys are playing the Reaper, you're playing the Pharah, you're playing the Devo, just look to get them off of there. That's not where you guys want to be ideally playing, maybe you, Pharah, but look to get them off there. Get them off this fucking high ground. You will lose this point if they are shitting on you from this high ground. Okay?
Okay.
For another good play that you guys could do, once we have objective coming close to third point here, look to take this left side flank. This is really, really strong. This left side flank here, as long as you can clear it out even, just clearing it out from their DPS, just taking this space right here, this is really, really strong. You basically control left side spawn door, kind of funneling them out from here, and they all come from one direction. You have a little bit of high ground over them. It's just a really strong position, so look to take that. All right, if you can. If you can't, then just try and force them out the best you can. Okay?
Okay.
So we'll go over it again a little bit faster, and I'll ask you guys some questions, okay?
I'm ready for the pop quiz.
Let's do it.
First point. What's our best rotation? They have Meh.
Theater rotation.
Hey.
Mini high ground, eh?
Yeah, mini high ground A.
All right. Best rotation, first point. They're playing double shield. Low ground.
Main hotel, yeah.
Hotel. I like it.
I think that's B. Is that
B.
right?
Yes. Okay. They're playing this comp. They have this comp right now. What they have right now. What's best rotation?
I'd still say theater. A, yeah.
Well, they have a Reaper. Just a lot of close range damage.
Yeah.
You think it's
What are
still
they gonna
theater
do?
rotation?
They can't.
Hmm.
Also, they have Winston, so they have better high ground control.
All So now it just depends on how you want to play it. Okay, they're playing. See, playing the Winston here kind of has the same idea as playing the Diva, except it has the potential to also be a little more frontliney aggressive. Okay, in your guys' comp, the Reinhardt takes the space, the Diva controls the space. In their comp, the Monkey takes space, the Reinhardt controls the space. So when you guys are playing this, they have a lot more presence, as in being able to control high grounds like Diva would. They have a lot more presence, but Diva has a lot more kill threat. So they can do the same thing you guys can do, just being a little tankier than you guys. Okay? So they can take fights a little longer than you guys can, but you guys have the sustain to be able to pursue that. So if you want to deny their Winston their value and force them to come to you, we could go theater rotation. Or if we think their Winston's not going to do shit and we're better than them, we could go hotel rotation. It just depends on how you want to play it. All right. So if you decide I want to play aggressive, you path short, right? You path real short and you path fast. If you want to go for a little more time to think, a little more resources used, you go long rotation with better advantage points. All right. We want to play fast. We want to play short then, okay? Fast means we want to go short rotation. Slow, but more advantageous, we take the long rotations. And just going main, either left or right side of statue, it's a mix of both, right? If you go just through main, it's fast as fuck, right? Fast as fuck, but we have little to no cover. If you go right side of statue, it's decently fast. We have a little cover. So it's like a mix of both, but at the same time, we're on low ground, so it's, disadvantageous compared to doing a rotation. All right.
Question.
What's up?
With this comp, they're just fucking like the damage, no brain run at you, right?
Yeah.
So the brawl somewhat worked, but it kind of got fucked. Would running a aggressive comp ourselves to counter their aggression work? Like, say we ran like a 6-man into that.
See, right now they are kind of running like a kind of signification of a 6-man, right? That Torb turret is doing damage to you guys at all times. The Torbjorn can get some spam. If we set up on high ground, it's basically a 6-man pushing you guys at all times. What you guys are running is kind of a 4-2 split comp. Far Mercy is not going to follow you guys into brawls, right? You don't have the same sustain as them because your Mercy's most of the time going to be healing your Pharah, right? So you guys either play really, really fast and really, really aggressive as a 6 in this comp, ideally, or you look to swap something up and go a better comp for this situation. Okay? Did that help?
Okay.
Because these guys, they're going to control high ground better than you guys can because of their tanks. They're just going to control space in general just better, right? They have Torb for air support. They have the shotguns from Torb, the shotguns from Reaper for brawl potential, as well as the Reinhardt and the Brig Cleave and the Monkey Cleave. So they want you to get close, right? They want you guys to be close, and they want to be able to get close to you fast. Otherwise, they wouldn't have ran Lucio, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe instead of us thinking we want to go aggressive as well, we could think, maybe we force them into us a little bit, right?
We could play poke.
Yeah, you guys can definitely play a poke comp. You could play like a monkey, or not a monkey diva, ball diva comp, or a double shield comp, right? Maybe
we don't
you
have
could
to
just
switch off for Ryan. If we could just switch to Hanzo.
even then
Poke from
exactly
distance.
you could play a brawl with a Hanzo, right? You could go for a slower brawl, right? You could go for kind of a brawl hybrid, right? You could go for an Ash Mercy Hanzo Baptiste with the same tanks, Reinhardt Diva, and you could force objective the entire round until they decide to rotate onto you, right? So these are the kind of see that thought process you guys had right there. That's what you gotta have in game.
Or you can
We
play
can
like a slower brawl comp with like a Torb or a Brig to counter their dive
yeah
a little bit.
yeah, and like we can go over rotations all we want, but when it comes down to it, you have to be able to be creative in game. We can take this A rotation, right? We could get to this high ground, but if they are just playing faster than us and they're playing more coordinated than us, doesn't matter what comp we play, we're gonna lose it. All right. Okay. Second point. They're playing on the high grounds. They have you guys pinned down on arches. They're playing. They're playing what we said: Hanzo, Ash, Mercy with Ryan, Diva, Baptiste. What do you guys rotate? They're holding you at arches with their DPS set up here, and the other DPS set up here on Bookstore.
We could try the rotation through the high ground. We can try the rotation behind them, but they'll still control high ground.
What do you guys think?
I think we poked them off the high ground at a minimum. Like we got to contest the Hanzo and their DPS up top.
All right. So they're holding you down on arches. One of their DPS is top right window. Priority number one, we get this guy out.
Yeah.
He's out. We forced him out. We forced their cooldowns. Now we're all on one side. They're all on the one side. What's our next move?
Well, I guess in that case, we're probably underneath the arches, so we just press main.
You guys just push main. Okay.
Yeah, because if we back, I mean, if we rotate, like, stop moving the camera so I can give you perspective. If we rotate to the right, like on the other side of the arches, well, if that back little corner there, then that just gives our DPS time to get back up there. And if we rotate without, like, let's say our diva, then our diva's just gonna get fucked while we rotate with no support.
Okay. So we walk in main. All right. We walk in main. We get to right about here. We start to fight. Hanzo gets 3, and we lose the fight. All right. Now we're back to square one. They're Hanzo's top left window. Ash is playing Bookstore. Everyone else holding arches. Walk out of spawn. What's our move?
Well, since it... Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Heading back which direction? Towards our spawn or towards theirs?
Not bad. Long rotation. If they kite back onto first point, you said it completely right. You push it hard as fuck. All right. But instead, now we have a little bit of a more advantageous position. Instead of walking into all their damage, we force their rotation, and they kind of have to walk into ours. Right? We kind of flip positions. Okay. If they decide to rotate back side of bar, kind of to the second corner, we get free cart push. We didn't really have to use much. We just wasted some time on rotation, but eventually it forced us on some objective control, right? Our next option is to take the high ground from spawn, right? All of you from spawn. We clear this one DPS out, and we decide to brawl from here, right? They're still holding arches, so they're all grouped here. We can decide we're all grouped here. We force all 6 of us forces Hanzo out. We can decide here now if we want to just drop in and go for the fight right off the bat, or we can rotate long side and kind of pull the same situation out. They play backside of first point, and we're on defending side now. Okay. So if there's too much high ground presence, that rotation out of spawn isn't a bad idea to take catwalk over to high ground through bell tower and drop straight into a fight. Walking main isn't the worst option. We just have to clear the high ground, maybe even get a pick from there, or alleyway. Okay. So,
Yes.
To keep it simple, arches is main. Okay. Going from the spawn rotation, bell tower. Okay. Or clock tower, whatever you want to call it. Or if you guys want to go right side, just say alleys. All right. Arches is main. High ground is clock tower or bell tower. And right side is alleys. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Third point. Or actually streets phase, second corner. We're about to cap objective. Their DPS are playing all up on the catwalk, right? Playing all up on the catwalk, and their tanks are holding the corner real close. What's our move? We're on attack. GG's.
GG's. No. The bigger question: what's the ult economy? We have 6 ults. We just press Q.
See, but that's what they want you to do. They want
I
you to
know.
use six ults
I'm
on
kidding.
this
I'm
phase.
kidding. I would say like off tank DPS would have to push and pressure their DPS.
All right. So for our off tank in DPS, what's our play?
GG's.
Wow.
GG's.
Yeah. GG's.
All right, I get a 1-man shatter because Brian's the only one on the ground in front of me.
Wait, explain the situation again, just like I completely understand.
Okay, so their supports are kind of playing in the support region back here. Their
Mhm.
tanks playing this corner right here, and their DPS are playing on catwalks.
Oh, Walder Rhinoff and then push him.
Hold on.
And you're just
So-
6-man taking the fight? I mean, so left side flank is kind of completely free, right? You kind of throw a high ground, you have free England support. If you have like a Hanzo or some shit, they could go left. And then you're kind of just splitting the fuck out of them, right? Because they don't have a good way to fight left unless they drop, like their DPS drop.
All right, so most times, your tanks and your supports most of the time are going to be walking in main, right? We're going to be looking to engage here. Now, for our off tank and our DPS, we could go, I would say, 3 ways, right? We can take this high ground if you have the vertical mobility. You can take this high ground, kind of creates a kind of a crossfire. You're looking from this direction, and you're looking from this direction, right? But it leaves you really vulnerable. You have no cover here. You're going to be 1v1ing their DPS. All right, so this is option 1. Option 2, same thing. If you have the vertical mobility, you can take this high ground, right, and kind of directly push them out. If you're going to directly push them out this way, you would most likely want to go with your off tank, right? DPS off tank, 2 of you come flush this out, then you have this position, right? You have the power position. You have a backside flank, creating a crossfire where they either look at you or they look at your front line. So that's a better rotation than option 1. Option 2, option 1. Option 2 is better. Option 3, we take a real long rotation, right? And we go here. Low ground, they still have control of this, right? But we are also in their back line. So you can slightly contest this, and you could put some threat on their back line. It's same thing as kind of option A, just a little safer, because option A, you're completely in the open and are forced to rotate to cover. In this one, you're low ground in the open, but you have closer rotation to cover. Okay? So
Okay.
option 2 and option 3 are better than option 1. All right. Another
We should
rotation that you
read
could
the
do.
Options.
Another rotation that you could do. This right here, you could just call this perch. Right. This is perch. Third point or second point perch. Catwalk. Left side alley. All right. You just call it the mini. Just say on the mini left side. Doesn't matter. Just something simple. Something so it gives your team a general idea of where they are. If you're gonna call it out, right? They're on second point catwalks. They're like, if you guys are fighting here and you say catwalks, they're not gonna look at a fucking catwalk over here, right? You're gonna look at the closest catwalk. Or if you say top right and you're pushing this way, top right, oh, right there, that's kind of simple. You say perch, whatever you can say. If you say, oh, they're honor or their BAP's playing on a mini, left side mini, you can look here. Or if you guys are playing further back, you'll think, oh wait, there's a mini right here. Boom, there's the honor. All right, just something simple so your team can understand you. Yeah, you could just say left side mini. You could play this area. You play catwalk. Just a lot of the times, if they're you want to look to flush, you want to look to flush this out, not just challenge it. Look to flush it out, force them out. If you're gonna just go for the challenge, you better be ready to win that 1v1, or else you're probably gonna lose the fight. All right. You could send the entire team up. That isn't a bad play. You guys just come straight from spawn. Yeah, it's not a bad push. If you decide to do that, it has to be all of you though. right? You guys can't be split now. If we're gonna decide to send our main tank up there, everyone else has to come. All right. The only things I would say is an exception is your DPS. You guys can all push off catwalk, and your DPS can look to take this left side flank or take a bar flank. Because it's either they rotate further back into third point, or they rotate kind of towards the defense side or towards the attack side, right? So depending on what they do, that's where we can rotate, okay? Or what we can predict they'll do. All right. Third point. Look to secure these high grounds. There's nothing really much to this. This counts as a high ground. This is high ground. This is high ground, and these back corners are high grounds. Okay. Just look to secure them. Most important ones. Most teams will not play out of this room. This room is pretty much untouched unless it's like a stagger rotation, like you guys just capped, and some of them are trying to rotate out. Look to clear that out. If you see anyone, if not, ignore it. Other powerful positions. This high ground, this high ground, and this high ground. Look to flush this out. You will flush this out. Every time you see someone here, you will control this. Even if no one's here, your DPS, you want to look to control this. Just taking this high ground, making sure no one's here, and maybe being able to get some pop shots from this window, or rotating left side and popping shots from spawn. This is a powerful position. And if you can take this high ground DPS, take this high ground, and this high ground. So fucking strong. You will win the point if you are just farming from up here. You will win the point. Same thing for your off tank. If there's people up here, force them off. Up here, force them off. You don't have to look to play from there most of the time. You can just look to force them off. Drop back down. Oh, they're up there again. Force them off. Come back down. Okay, just create the space for your team. If your Ash wants to play up here, she can, because I forced everyone off already, right?
Mm-hmm.
So look to play these high grounds. These are super, 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 super strong on third point. This one, and this right here. Okay?
Yes.
All right. That's basically it. That's the simple gist of rotations and places to control on King's Row. If you guys notice, high ground is the most powerful position. And that's how it is for 99% of the maps.
Yeah.
High ground is the most powerful position you can be. What's up? It depends on how it goes, yeah. If you have like go ahead.
I'd probably just stay with the cart.
So you guys kind of want to do that simultaneously, right? If the cart is right here, you just capped, right? And they were able to regroup, and they have all control of high ground right now, right? They have Hanzo up here, Ash Mercy up here, and the other three playing this corner right here, right? And you're just starting to get across. This is when you say, "Oh, we're gonna force these guys out." Your core will push, which would consist of your Reinhardt and your sports most likely, and then your diva would push this off, right? As we're pushing up core, we're looking to clear the space that's gonna threaten our core as we move, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we clear this out, and our core takes next corner. Now we're face to face. Their Ashes have high ground. We have taken this high ground. We got our DPS set up. Now we have a nice angle. We have this front angle, and we have an above, kind of behind them angle from up here, right? So now we have a crossfire, and we're putting a lot of pressure on them. So it's either they fight this now and most likely lose, or rotate back, giving us more objective space. Now the same idea occurs. They decide they want to play this high ground. As the objective gets closer and closer, we're here now. We're face to face again. Objective in the middle though. We look to clear this space. Then our core moves in as we're clearing the space, and we continue just slowly and methodically getting map control over them until eventually they are forced into the corner and we control all the high grounds. Okay? So as your core rotates, that's when you clear out. As you're clearing out, your core rotates. It shouldn't really ever be, oh, you're pushing them out, and then you drop back down to core and then you rotate. Because by the time you get back down and you start rotating, they're back up there. Exactly. So you guys kind of want to be in sync. You're gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna clear out top right. I'm gonna clear above the mega right side." That's when your core is like, "All right, I'm gonna look to take some space now." You guys got the objective fast. I'm gonna clear top left. All right, your core thinks they're going for it. We can take some space now. All right. Okay. That's the simple gist of King's Row. Okay. We good?
Game. Yes.
Yes, sir.
We'll go for our next map, Hanamura.
Oh god.
Can you read me the code? Like B8 something? 7-3?
Yo, Fleta had a freaking sick ass rotation on the Farah against the Rain.
Bro, there was
Championship match.
no chance Rain was winning that match. There was just no chance in hell they were winning that match, man.
God, I want to see that replay so bad.
Oh, sorry. For Kings Road defense, all the same ideas apply. The high grounds and the flanks. You're controlling the high grounds. If they force you off, it's okay to rotate and start playing defensive. And when you guys are looking to actually engage, look to clear your flanks first, and then engage once we're safe to move in. Okay.
Okay.
It's the same ideas, just applied a little more passively because we're on defense. All right. We're on Hanamura point A. We'll go for attack first. On our attack, there's select ways we could go. Most of them are main. And then we branch out from main, right?
Mhm.
We can go through this top left window with the symmetric TP, right? This is an option. This kind of has the same effect as main, but with a little less resource because if we TP straight from left, top left, we have free high ground access. Okay? So right off the bat, this isn't a bad rotation. This puts us at a powerful position, but also while we're TPing, it's pretty exposed. Okay?
Yeah. And they could potentially have someone up there.
Yeah, they could have someone up there, but if they do have someone up here and they aren't challenging you too seriously, you can look to clear them out, maybe even get a pick off it, and it puts us at an immediate advantage. So when you're engaging into these fights, just look at what's happening first before you decide to make a play. Okay. Next is our basic rotations that we can do. Most of the time, we're going to be running May with a combination of a hit skin or Reaper or something brawly, right? Or we run a Symmetra with no May. Okay? We can run Symmetra with May. It puts our damage at a disadvantage, but we are able to brawl, and it means that we have to go for semi-longer defensive fights. We have to wait for Sim Beam to build up. We have to wait till we have the actual ability to push in and actually fight this fight. If we just try and go in cold fish without our Sim charged up, no wall, we're going to lose the fight. Okay, so if we're playing Sim May, it's going to be a longer fight. It's not so fast. It's more wait, then go instead of just go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A rotation that we've been practicing: diagonal May wall here, right side mini, up to catwalk, cross catwalk, into back right mini. Okay. Once we get
What
here,
happens if they're on like Raw and they just rush into the room?
if they decide to just rush into the room, we can either look to keep kiting them and force point, right, with our abilities, or we decide to, engage into their brawl and go for the fight. If you guys are looking, right, you decide to push this way, you're starting to walk, and they're starting to push this way, and they're trying to force their way to the room, you can look to fight it here at this choke, this tiny little choke, or we could look to just kite them off and push this high ground. If they decide to come up these stairs, fucking book it. Go straight to point. If the fight engages down here and they hard push you here, you're gonna have to fight, right? But if they slow down at this doorway, go up the stairs. If they decide to chase you a little bit more, continue going up the stairs and fucking book it straight to point.
Yeah.
All right. But most teams aren't stupid. I don't think they'll hard engage in a brawl into that room with you. They'll probably stop at that doorway. If they do, you just kite point and continue the rotation. They'll be smart enough to probably rotate point, which most teams have done so far. So just continue your rotation, get to this top right mini, and look to play for a wall here or just make something happen from here. A lot of time it's kind of just drop, wall, go. If we do, wall, drop, and go, it means go. It means go. It doesn't mean, oh, we got a wall. We're going to look at this wall a little bit. Oh, we're doing damage. It's not dying, though, because we're not going hard enough. It means drop and go fast as fuck, hard as fuck. Okay? If we have these wall targets, it doesn't mean let's just shoot at them safely. It means go balls to the wall and kill them, right? Unless you're actually in danger, like for you, Lori, unless you're actually at like 100 HP, it means go. It means go, go, go. Don't slow down.
In my experience,
Kill
Reinhardt is never at 100 HP. It's either 500 or 0.
That's not a good way to. That's not a good sign, then, buddy. I hate to break it to you. Hold on. Yeah, that's not a good sign if you're just 500 and 0.
That's the main tank experience.
Okay, we'll go over that. We'll go over that another time. Uh, uh yeah. If you catch a wall here, it's go, right? We can use their speed. We don't have to, but it's ideal. We use our speed to get to them quick, kill them fast as fuck, right? If we don't catch a wall, it's fine. We can drop slow and look for something. Once we find our opportunity, then we go. That's what wall is for. The main wall is to find the opportunity. It just creates more opportunity for you guys, let's just say. Having the ability to create map cover, right? To create like a wall that cuts shit off, an actual object, it creates your opportunity instead of you looking for an opportunity. Okay? So if you get a big wall, like walling off one person, that's our target. We go fast as fuck. If it doesn't die, then we kind of reset. We recenter ourselves and we think of what to do next. Okay? Because that's another thing I noticed with you guys. You like whenever I was when I was watching the last scrim and I started to help you guys with calls, right? The fight went smoothly because I would just call reset, like just stabilize. We'd get a kill. I'd say focus up, stabilize, reset. What's next? Right? And then we thought of what was next. We went for the target. You guys called it. So you killed it, right? Then what's next? Stabilize. What's next? That's the ideas you gotta be having in your head. And if you feel like your team's getting messy, call it yourself. Yo, guys, we got a kill or we have a wall. Let's go in. We get the pick. All right, stabilize. What's next? Okay. Until eventually we build ourselves up and we're able to make these decisions on the fly. Oh, Ryan dead. What's next? May. What's next? More is dead. And by the time you guys know it, you're rolling teams just based off of how organized you are. Okay? So. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So, another rotation we can do. Right? Besides this left side, besides taking this TP yet, we still have the same comp, right? We have the May Kree, or we have the May Reaper, or we have May Sim. Depends on what we want to play. All right? We could go left side, straight for main, right? Same idea. We put a wall kind of diagonal in the other direction. Okay? So instead of going diagonal this way from here to here, it's kind of diagonal from here to here. And we just rotate with our speed directly from choke, with our speed onto top left. Okay? We're up here now. From this way, we can decide if they rotate to this mini, we can look to take main and kind of just engage into a fight from here to here. Or we could look to take the long rotation, but the more powerful position from the high ground onto here. Okay. So rotation ideas, we already went through right side. We did the whole thing. We know that whole spiel. Left side. We go up to here. Now this is where we decide where we want to go. If we want to go fast and hard, straight through main. If we want to go long but a lot more powerful, we go left side to high ground. Same idea as King's Row, right? We want to go fast. We want to go hard. We take the shortest route, right? But
Yes.
we want to be in more powerful positions, so we go the long rotation and we take the high ground. Okay?
Yes.
Alrighty. So just apply the same ideas. If we want to go fast and we want to go hard and we want to brawl quick, we take the shortest rotation possible without taking the most amount of damage, right? Or if we want to set ourselves up, we want to set our team up, we want to get everything set up so we can engage properly, we take the long rotations, but we have a lot more powerful positions. Okay?
Yes.
Alrighty. Yeah, you have a lot more cover. If they're playing double shield, this is the best rotation, right? Yeah, you're forcing them off this high ground, which a lot of teams like to play, and you're forcing this high ground from them, which also a lot of teams like to play. I would say walking in main, just like straight through main through courtyard, worst idea possible, and walking from top left down onto point, it's situational, right? It's still not the best idea, but if you see opportunity just from dropping quick and going in, like you have 2 picks already, we just took this top left and we chilled on rotation. We have 2 picks already, just engage fast, right? That's when we push our advantage quick as fuck. But if it's still in the neutral, you have no advantages, nothing. This isn't the best rotation. You just go left side. Yeah, so you look to take left and all the way around and take this position. Now, the other rotation you do if they're playing more of a spammy comp is the right side rotation that we usually take. That is another really powerful position because they're engaging from high ground. Taking this position, you go a little bit faster, right? I know it kind of contradicts the idea of shorter is faster, but here you have a lot less cover, so you are forced to use your abilities to get in there faster, right? You have less cover, you have more distance to travel, so you have to go fast. If you're playing this left side and you're deciding to engage from here, you have options, right? If we're playing Kree, if we're playing Ash, or if we're playing Hanzo with a combination of a Mei, or we're playing Sim, just any collection of things, we can play from here. Our supports are safe. They're playing in this kind of side, on this side, playing back here with our tanks engaging, or some DPS and our off tank can engage from this angle, and just playing here kind of forces them away from over here. It just already you have a lot more superior map control over them. Just taking that left side and controlling it means you cleared out this already, meaning their DPS already feel pressure to rotate this way. Then we continued the rotation all the way left, and it forces their entire team into a kind of a small corner and point that we already have so much map control, right? We control all of this, basically all of courtyard into the left side, that just taking positions from here is so much easier. We can walk onto point most of the time for free. Teams will feel very threatened from your position to walk around Bell. So we take half a point control already, and that opens up our options. Right side of Bell, left side of Bell, taking a left side flank, walking onto courtyard and taking a wide right side flank. Just taking that left side is super, super powerful, but it takes longer to set up. Okay?
Okay.
That's just when you want to go slower and you want to actually think through what you want to do a lot. It's just using more time. When you're going right side, we get to right side, we think, then we got to go fast. We got to go now. Taking the left side, we can be slower. We can kind of inch our way onto point and force them off. Okay. For our defense on first point. We want to control the space that they want to take. You guys know the rotations. Those are the most common rotations. There isn't really much creativity to go on from there. Maybe TPing from main into some creative spots, but that's about it. The rotations are simple, right? If they're
Yes.
rotating, if they are rotating for you guys now on defense, right side, we want to play a little further, right? We want to give them some space. They're going to take that map control fast, so we want to give them some space, and we want to play for their mistakes into pushing us instead of our mistakes for feeding into them. Okay. So if they decide to do the right side rotation and take map control, give it to them. Fine. We could play off their mistake now. Now we could kind of just play for the objective. We maybe look for an opportunity going wide. We play for objective. If they decide to do that left side rotation and we're all the way up in choke, right? We're playing brawl comp. We're closer. So we look to take point. Just rotate point. They're gonna look to take this space, right? They don't have map control. They don't have too much open map control from us. They have to walk through cover, and they come out here. All they have is this space right here. They have the low ground, so we're even here. they have to drop to come to us, so we just rotate point and hold close, right? Or we could hold on Bell, give them space, and we hold on Bell. All right. Now, if they decide to just engage
Where
on
have
main
your
right,
journeys taken you?
take this brawl. Look to, if you're taking too much pressure and you know you can't win that fight, rotate back right, or sorry, back left for defense now. This is your safe space. This is your haven, unless they rotate on left side. Okay? This is where we want to always look to reset. Or this is our fallback. This is our rendezvous. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hard pressure from this from main. They want to brawl here. We can't win this. Their DPS is pressured up right side. We can't really flush them out. Back left. Reset here. We have mini health pack. We have some cover. We have some high ground we can control. So a little bit of point control by dipping in and out. Good space, right? We're playing top right. We're playing a double shield top right. Okay? We're kind of split. Double shield split. Arissa here, Sigma here. We're 3-3 split. They start pushing this high ground with a right side rotation, flushing these three out. Where are you going to go? Your point, back left. The rest of your team comes on, back left, and we're at our rendezvous. Right where we want to be. Tip you to a point when we need to. Go for wide flanks to look for opportunities. We have high ground. We still have some opportunity. Instead of us just like, they're pushing us, they're rotating. Walk in main, turn our back to the enemy, boom, boom, boom. Hanzo just killed 3 while we're just walking in main, our backs to them, right?
Right.
So just look to rotate, take some safe space. This is your rendezvous, this is your safe space. You have to decide to force it out, taking the left rotation. Doesn't matter what comp you're playing. Switch sides. Boom. Now we have a powerful position over you. We have point. We have objective. We have map control, right? They decide to take this left side. They are funneling themselves in. That means you take advantage of that funnel and you take map control. Oh, they're rotating into our safe space. We take point. We take this high ground. We can control catwalk. You know, we have a lot more opportunity. The whole idea of taking this left side rotation is to kind of catch the team with their pants down on rotation. That's why we do it, right? We want to play fast. We want to go hard. Now, if the enemy team doesn't capitalize and they kind of just wait for you to get here, that's when we can get our wall and we create the opportunity. But you guys are smarter than that. We're not going to just, let them just kill us, right?
Right.
We're going to take advantage of the space that we can take. We're going to take advantage of these powerful positions, and we're going to win the team fight. Okay?
Yes.
So we're able to defend off. Nice. We're back on attack. We cap first. Second. There's not many places you could go. If you're running the sim, left side isn't too bad. I'll go left side at the end. Right side is the more ideal position, and main. With a combination of taking the windows, depending on the comp. Most of it lies on sim. Right side. This is where you're going to be going most of the time. You're playing Hanzo, you're playing Kree, you're playing Ashe, you're playing Mei, you're playing Sim, you're playing Reaper. Doesn't matter. Right side is going to be most of the time, right? We could go two ways from right side. We could funnel into high ground and force them off this position, or we could take catwalk and kind of look for our own opportunity. Okay? Now, there's situations that kind of lean more to the left side, or the situations that we want to go aggressive on the right side. This is where it comes in situational. If we have like a BAP window, we can crank out fast left side, pop it here, force them off with our abilities. Or if we want to force them off with brute force, we take right side and kind of push them out in a fight. Okay, but most of the time we're going to be ending up on this high ground or this high ground. Right? If we are able to push them off this high ground, perfect. We have our team set up, right? We have our support set up, and our tanks are able to drop and control the point. If our tanks need help, that's when we drop, but if we don't have to, not mandatory. Another thing, if we can't push them off here yet, and there's too much pressure just walking through this little staircase, catwalk it is. We rotate catwalk. Okay? We look for our opportunity here. There's too much pressure. This high ground is not working out. Going top right is not working out. Our next option, main. I like this main rotation, actually. I like it a lot. I have a few reasons why I like it. If we're playing Kree Mei, okay? This is a Kree Mei brawl comp, Bap, Lucio, Diva, Zario, or Reinhardt, okay? This is one of my favorite rotations to do on Hanamura for second point. Walk in straight main. Just go in main. Fast as shit. Take this left side, get your team set up. Now we're on defense. Okay?
Their rotation is to stand scared at choke and
Just
never
walk.
push.
Just walk fast. Go hard. Go quick. Get this to the left side. Take this left side. If they're playing brawl, right? If they're playing something that needs to engage onto you. If they're playing double shield, we look to take a little faster rotation that I'll go over in a second. They're playing brawl, they're playing something that has to come into you. We play this part right here. We take control of this and we slowly creep up to here. And now we have control of their spawn. We have a little bit of elevation onto point on where they want to drop, right? So this is a powerful rotation to take if we cannot force them off here. There's just no way we're going to get them off here. We've lost like 3 fights in a row just trying to push there. Try something new. Take this rotation. Okay, so main, fast as shit, left side, stairs. We're good here. Tanks touch point. Supports and DPS are set up here. We look for opportunities now. Okay?
I have to go now, but I sent my thing excuses chat. Like, but I've got to go a bit early. All right. I'll be here tomorrow. It's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you again. I'll be back.
Okay.
GGs.
So our next rotation, if they're playing something spammy, something double shield, they're not going to give that high ground up until it's the very last second, and we want to engage onto them. Either taking the right side again and just trying it again, not a horrible option. But what we can also do, if we want to just walk in main and take their spam, like we know we can live their spam damage, take right side, go through stairs, and try and just get up here fast. Okay, and force them off fast. The same idea goes for if we want to just take this longer rotation, more cover, yes. Save some resource, yes. Just longer. We take the right side through the little room, down the stairs, up these. Same idea, taking the stairs, flushing them out here. Okay? So if they have really spammy comps, you look to take cover. Taking this main to left rotation. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah. If they are playing double shield or spammy comp, you can still take this main to left side rotation. It's not a bad idea. Just be prepared to play your cover and your angles tightly. Okay. Yeah, yeah. If you can't force them off top right initially, and there's just too much pressure up there for you to win the fight, force objective and then have superior map control. Okay. Now for the situation with sim. Most of the time, it's going to be with sim. You can do a thing where like you have if you guys are able to get up here by making the jump here to here, you can do a May wall and all of you guys can cross. You could look to do that, but most of the time it'll be with sim. You guys TP, and it's either the same idea of taking map control quickly, doing this rotation here, right? Or we take a long rotation, little less cover, right? Less cover, but we are trying to threaten their high ground, and we're gonna eventually engage into a fight, most likely here, or if they drop onto here, so we can look to make our way out onto catwalk. Okay, so left side rotation either consists of catwalk or back left. All right. So if we're running the May, no sim, it'll be the main to the left. If top right's not working, right? If top right is not working, this is all if top right is not working, we could go main to left. If we're running May, if we're running sim, we could go coast to left. And we have the same powerful positions that forces objective and has superior advantage points compared to when they want to drop. Okay? All right. For defense, they were able to cap first point. It happens. It is what it is. We want to play this top left. Now this is it becomes situational when you have certain DPS like Ash. If you want to play the Widow, maybe if you want to play the Hanzo, you can play this top right perch, right? Or you want to play Catwalk. Just depends on what comp you guys are running. If you're playing the double shield, we can play 3-3 split with our Arista comp here, or our Arista group here, and our Sigma group here, and we kind of have this little like cage for them. Or we could play 4 here, 2 over there, or 2 here, 4 over here, or we could play 3 here, 3 here. It could just split in a bunch of ways. If we're playing Brawl, most likely 5 to 6 here. Okay? Most likely 5 to 6, unless like you're Diva and you have a little more of a mobile DPS playing right here. It just depends on what you want to do. But if Brawl, most of you guys will be playing left side. Okay? If Brawl, most of you guys will be playing left side. If kind of double shield spammy comps, we can play split comps where we control a lot of the high ground, or we can play group comps, which are kind of pseudo spam Brawl comps into the small spaces, or it could just be a whole collection of things if it's more spammy comps. But if it's Brawl comps, most of the time, top left. This is our space. This is where we hold. This is where we are. This is what we are going to do. If they decide to do the rotations for, the main to left or coast to left, if you can scout them out early enough for coast, right? Say if you have a tracer playing this point or something, and you see this TP coming up here, or if you see they have sim and you don't see them main or top left, you know they're going to go coast, we can look to rotate quick. If we're playing Brawl, we can look to rotate quick, and we look to hold this choke fast, right? Or we can look to engage from this side fast. But most of the time, they're going to get here first. Most of the time, they are going to get here first. So we continue looking to play for our power positions. What are our power positions? This high ground, this high ground, and this high ground. Until the objective is threatened, which is at the very last tick, it's not so important to just drop balls to the wall, go. All right? For any objective, that is. Even on payload maps, you don't have to just feed your life away to just stall the cart. Right? For this point, on defense, you don't have to really force the point, like touch the objective until last tick. Once this last tick and it's getting kind of threatening, that's when we could kind of engage onto point, or when we see an opportunity to engage, instead of just rushing point, once we see our opportunity, that's when we can engage. Okay?
Yes.
So they rotate out, they take left side. Now what do? They're forcing point. We're still on our high grounds. We're still trying to find some damage in. We didn't really get much. They're on a tick and a half now. Boom, 2 ticks. What's next? This is when we look.
Boy. It
What's
depends
up?
on the tank, but like if we're running like Orisa, then Orisa would drop to touch to
Yeah.
contest first.
So most time it'll be your tanks. If we're playing Orisa Sigma, it'll be your Orisa first. Your Orisa uses her Fortify, uses her Shield. Once those run out, if we're playing Baptiste, which most of the time we should be with Orisa, that's when we look to use our Immortality on her. We just try and keep our Orisa on the objective for as long as we can. Once our Orisa cannot anymore, that's when we send our Sigma. That's when we send our DPS onto there. That's when we start getting more bodies on there. But our Orisa needs to be the one to touch for the longest amount of time. That's the most survivable hero on your team just based off the resource that's built around her. Okay? If we're playing Brawl Comp, it'll consist of your Rhine, your Diva, and your Mei. Most times it'll be your Diva to just kind of dip in and out until it's kind of really threatened. Then it's your Reinhardt, and then it's your Mei. Okay? If your Reinhardt cannot, his health is too low, it's your Diva and your Mei. If your Diva is too low, your Reinhardt and Mei. If your Mei is too low, your Reinhardt and Diva. Right? Simple.
Yeah.
We want to start engaging onto point. They have too much pressure when we just drop. We can look to rotate through stairs and kind of go head on head with our tank. Like, just eventually one of us will just have to drop, right? We can't play smart about it anymore. It's getting threatening. They're on the last tick, about to cap soon. This is when one of us just has to look to drop. And then the other 2 or 3 of us can look to rotate. And a lot of the time, our Ana or Bap or whatever is going to be looking to support this Reinhardt or Diva or whoever dropped through this whole entire fucking onslaught that's coming at them, right? So the rest of you guys can look to rotate. The rest of you guys can look for the opportunity. Okay, so our Reinhardt dropped. Okay, they're about to cap. Our Reinhardt dropped. He's getting pressured, so we have a support looking at him. That means there's 4 of you. 4 of you that can look for opportunity. And now that could be in so many different ways. If we're playing Tracer, we can go all the way on the left side and look for a backside flank while they're already on the rotation, right? We could have looked at that super early. If we're playing Kree, we can look to drop with our Reinhardt maybe, or we can look to control from catwalk, or we can rotate to our side from our spawn and kind of play for this. We kind of poke from here, dip on point, back onto the platform, and kind of just go for some opening picks that you can find. If we're playing Ashe, this right here, this space right here is really strong, or just playing from this high ground, trying to find an angle, super strong. If we're playing Hanzo, same thing, engaging from here, dropping off and playing the pillars and playing from here, dropping into Channels for some cover. The trenches, they're falling into this trench here, the pit. While climbing up, look for a pick, nothing, drop back down for some cover, right? Just look for opportunity once you have to, okay? Once you're forced from these powerful positions, right? Once you can't just always just chill here and we're forced to look for our opportunity, that's when we drop, that's when we get creative. Okay? If they're going for this left side rotation and you're playing a mobile hero like Tracer, you're playing Genji, you're playing Doomfist, you're playing Reaper even, maybe look to cut them off. Maybe look to set up for this. Keep this in mind. Try and predict what they're gonna do and prepare yourself for it before it happens. All right. That's why I said if you can predict they're gonna push this way and you start seeing them push this way, try and cut them off if you can. If you know you can't, then continue as usual. But if you can preemptively cut them off and predict their movements, do it. But you were saying, Jiggles? Mm-hmm. Yeah. If your diva decides I'm gonna play left side, I have boosters, I can just scout. Maybe I see if you see the whole team grouped up here and they're about to TP, be like, yo, team, come left side, and your team does this rotation and we cut them off right here. They got nowhere to go now because your diva's still here, right? Your diva's still just chilling here, scouting their rotation, making sure they're still doing it. Your team cuts them off. Now we have a powerful position. They decide to engage onto your team. Your diva has boosters. You can fly back and we engage 6v6. They start to pressure your diva off. Your diva does all she can to protect. Once she starts feeling pressure, she runs away, and now we're back. We're back at a kind of a powerful position, right? This is the same. We're back into a position where if we were on attack, right? So now we just play for the objective, right? We play for the objective if we can press our opportunity. All right. So if you're able to predict, if you do see their rotations early, call it, set up for it, be prepared. But if they do catch you with your pants down, you know what to do. All right. Okay. That's Hanamura. Same ideas apply from King's Road to Hanamura to any map. High ground, high ground, high ground. That's the most powerful position.
High ground.
Some simple things happened a lot on this map. If you guys remember, we were getting clapped by the Doomfist. I don't want that happening in the tournament. I don't want you getting clapped by a flanker because they are 3,700. Okay. Six of you guys can outplay one player and literally dominate their team because that one player is boosting their SR. You guys are able to win these matchups against the Smurf. Does not matter their SR. You will win it if you are playing correctly. Check your corners. Every time you're engaging, check your corners. This is an FPS game at the end of the day. Checking your corners and playing your cover tightly is important. So check your corners, play the cover correctly, and use your cooldowns correctly. Your stun. Don't just whiff your stun at anything. Don't just whiff your sleep dart at anything. Your immortality is very useful, and you could be a little more lenient with it. But also keep in mind that you might need it in like 2 seconds. You might need it a little bit more, right? What was I on the train of thought that? Tip for BAP. Your shift. Don't 100% use it all the time to heal your team. It's really, really effective healing for yourself, but not so effective for your team. Okay? All right. It's situational. You could use both cooldowns if you know you're not going to need them, and then in the immediate future. But if you feel threatened and you feel like there's too much pressure going on, you can use both. But if you know you're going to need it, you maybe save it for a few seconds. That's just situational. That's more of a one-on-one thing. I just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, talking on cooldowns, make sure you're saving your cooldowns for things that are actually important. That's what I should have said. Use your cooldowns on actual important matters instead of just wasting them, flinging them to air. Check your corners, play your cover, and use your cooldown smart. I don't want to see you guys getting fucking rolled by a flanker. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We'll go over one more map. What's on our thingy thing? Thingy
Thing?
thing.
Do
For
we know what
match
maps we're
one.
playing on Friday, or is it like a map pool?
You guys got a map pool. Oh, this Root, Kings Row, Hanamura, Busan. We haven't gone on Busan at all.
Hey Laura, are you playing
Austin.
Friday or no?
Yes.
We do a little bit of Busan. Do we have a map code from the last room? Do, right? Yeah.
I mean, not that the code's super important because we're not even watching the footage. You could just go to the map.
Yeah, I could. I just too lazy, dog. I have to create a custom match and put the map in and shit.
And to answer the question, yes, I will be there on Friday, and I'll be here all week, so I
Sweet.
shouldn't miss any. No, it's for a fact. No, I'm not working Friday.
Busan. Sanctuary. We could run Brawl. We could run Double Shield. We could run Dive. Brawl. Cage. Not Cage, sorry. Drum. Drum. Cage, or our Cage is for our Dive. Brawl goes to Drum. Okay? Drum. Brawl,
Or
Drum, Double
Rush.
Shield,
Rush goes there too.
Rush. I would say Rush. If you're playing Monkey Rush, though, most times it's Drum. Cage, sorry. Drum is for Rush Reinhardt comps. Monkey comps, Ball comps like to play out of Cage a lot more. I'll explain Cage a little more, but for Rush comp, Reinhardt comps, Brawl comps, left side super duper strong. This is where our first fight a lot of time will break out. When you're playing in this high ground or this position, this drum position, whoever takes control of this mega, right? Whoever has a little creep over this jump onto this side right here will most likely win the fight, or better spoken, will flush the enemy team out. Whoever gets this little left side control right here, this little push over the drum, will force the enemy team out or win the fight. Why? It's an off angle from where we're pushing, right? It's an off angle from where we're pushing. We have superior health. We have more cover from the left side. We have the right side drum, the right side of point. Okay? Now, say we're pushing out, we take this left side, and they decide, we're losing this fight, they rotate point. We have the powerful position now of high ground. We have a point of engagement. This is perfect space to stage from. Staging our engagement doesn't just confine itself to dive. We have now staged our engagement. We have powerful positions. This is when we decide we want to engage straight on them. We want to rotate around, take a little more of the scenic route into cover, or we have the luxury now to take flanks. We have our support set up right here. Boom, perfect position for our supports. Boom, perfect position for our supports. If you notice, the support played out of this really, really well, right? They had the Brig, they had the what were they playing? Ana? Yeah, they had the Brig, they had the Ana, they had the Ash playing right here. Really, really strong position. It's just a great space for the sports, and some of the hits can DPS to play. So the cover, because the ability to play from point to kite into cover, it's really, really strong. This is a perfect space to stage. We have taken it. We have it. We have the luxury to go right side and flank all the way around, left side and all the way around. Like, we have so much space here now, so much map control. So if you guys can win this with Brawl, you will win the fight. Okay, as long as you just don't feed. If you don't feed, you will win this fight 9 times out of 10. They go point. We can either engage heads on, or we play for a little longer rotation. But most of the time, it's kind of tanks pushing on to point, and our DPS looking for opportunity. Okay, say if our tank finds an opportunity, right? Their Ana is pushed up super duper fucking far, and your Reinhardt Laurie calls, "Yo, this Ana's up. Let's get on her. We're on her ass." We will go in, maybe not as 6, right? But at least 3 of you will pressure that Ana and most likely kill her. Okay. So
Okay.
we push into point and look for an opportunity, whether that be from the left side of point, directly onto point, right side of point, from cage all the way flanked around behind point. Sorry. But once you win this position here, you will have so much better position overall. Okay? That's for more brawly comps. You could also push double shield here, but it's not the best position. For double shield, a lot of the time it's going right side onto point, right? Or right side into cage. Why? Longer sight lines, better. It's just better sight lines for the double shield to spam out and then be able to walk on and control point. Okay?
Yes.
Another common comp for this map, dive comps, whether that be
Ball
Ball Diva
Tracer.
comps, Ball Tracer, Doomfist is also pretty common on this map, and Monkey Diva comp. Pretty popular on this map. The idea that Ball Tracer and Monkey Diva kind of create is the enemy team comes into you, like they use their cooldowns to come into you. You guys are staged, ready to go to collapse on their rotation, right? They're running Brawl comp, right? They're running Brawl comp. They want to take the drum over there. Let them take it. We come to our cage side. We stage our supports in, nice and open, ready to go. Nice and open, ready to go for wherever we want to go. Right? So
Right.
you just let them come into you. Let them walk in. They want to take point. All right, you can take a little bit more space. Then, once they're pushed up too far, you notice their mistake. We're able to use all of our abilities, all of our cooldowns, our mobility fucking cooldowns. We get in their face, we kill whoever made the mistake, and now we're up. We have an advantage, and sports are perfectly safe. Why? Because they're playing Brawl. They're playing a six-man comp here. They just walked on, kind of thought, no, they're giving us space, and we collapse onto them with our mobility, right? We kind of like we were like a I don't know, I would say like a snake or something, kind of just letting them kind of creep up and then attacking really fast, right? You gave them a false sense of security, just letting them come in, and that's how this. Yeah, yeah, sure. That's how you want to play dive on this map, or any kind of spam comp. Even just playing Arista Sigma here, you let them kind of push in. You let them push in. Once they make their mistake, that's when we collapse and we win the fight just based off of our sheer amount of pressure and damage that we pump out. Right? That's how dive works with burst. That's how double shield works with just consistent damage over time. If they decide to go drum, and you're playing the hybrid comp, either spam or dive or whatever, just let them come into you. Give them some space. Then we collapse on their mistake here. That's how you want to play these comps. Because if they're playing Brawl and you decide to engage in them in this tight, small room, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. They have more cover than you, they have more health than you. They just have the better position and better comp for this position. You will lose if you decide to engage a spam comp into this room. Okay? A spam dive comp, I should have said. Sorry. You will lose to Brawl. If you guys are matching dive or spam into this comp, it can work, but it just isn't the best position for either comp. Okay? Right. Questions? Concerns? No Meggies?
What comp are we gonna run on this map? We're gonna run
So,
6-man, right?
yeah, if you guys want to run six-man Brawl or Monkey Rush, right?
Right.
Monkey six-man Rush. If it's Monkey six-man Rush, we kind of want to go cage side. If it's Rhine Rush Brawl, we want to go drum side. Okay? Depends on what you guys are feeling. Depends on what they've been running the entire series. If you notice that they have a really good hit scan and their hit scan likes to play further back, we could take cage, right? Or we could set up our dive comp ready to go. Our rush six-man dive comp ready to go for their DPS that's gonna inevitably play right here, right?
Right.
It just depends on what they've been playing in the series and how you guys can adapt to it. Okay?
Okay.
Just some ideas though. Six-man rush comp with Rhine, six-man rush comp with Monkey. If
Got it.
Monkey, cage. If Rhine, drum.
Drum.
Okay?
Yes.
Next point. Next phase.
And then
Oh, you guys are
last
still on
one.
this map. Jesus.
And then
Jesus.
Caramel.
Haha. Funny.
Damn, bro.
That's almost half of the map time spent on one map. That's crazy.
Finally, huh?
You guys didn't go to 3, huh? Okay.
Mhm.
Downtown. Downtown, most of the time, Ball Diva comps, Monkey Diva comps, or double bubble comps if you want. Just more spammy dive comps are favored on this map. Running a brawl comp, you can, but a lot of the time it'll be point control and choke control. This choke and this part of the point. If you're playing brawl, you have no map control. You have no high ground control. You're most times gonna get run over if they play double shield or if they play a dive comp. Double shield is also not the best comp on this map, but it will win over brawl. So, what comps do we have left? We have Ball Diva, Monkey Zarya. Monkey Zarya is a good comp. We have Monkey controlling high grounds with Zarya point presence, right? That's a solid comp. We have Diva controls high grounds with Ball controlling all the space around it. Or we have Monkey Diva comps with a combination of Diva and Monkey controlling high ground and Monkey Diva controlling point. What comp would I recommend most? Monkey Diva, Ball Diva. Okay? So, we first break out of spawn. We're ready to go. We're going to go. DPS, look to set up this high ground. This is the first space you want to take. Look to set up here. We have a good angle.
What DPS are we talking about running here?
You could run Hanzo, you could run Widow, you could run Ashe, you could run Tracer, you could run Echo. Running fire heroes on this map, maybe not the best idea. Maybe. They play Widow a lot on this map. Ashe is a common pick. Hanzo is not too bad. Soldier is also a pick on this map, but he isn't the most threatening. Yeah, he isn't the most threatening from this high ground, but he could get to every other high ground. He could get to this one, he could get to this one, and he has catwalk control, so Soldier's also a solid pick on here. But ideal picks, Tracer. We could play Reaper for a rush comp with Monkey, or we could play more of a long distance Hanzo, Ashe, or Widow comp. Okay? If we're deciding to play rush comp, our snipers are out of the window. It'll probably be Reaper Tracer or Sombra Tracer. Okay?
Yes.
If we feel like we're not getting enough damage off with our Monkey, Diva, Tracer, Sombra, I don't know, Mercy, Lucio, if we feel like we're not getting enough done, then we could look to change up our Sombra or our Tracer, and we could look to go Reaper to supplement either or. Okay? And you don't have to stick so literal to what I'm saying here.
Right.
These are just idea starting points. These are just if you feel like Diva's just getting farmed, they're not working out, it's okay.
Then switch to Zarya.
Switch to Zarya, or if you're feeling confident, switch to Ball and play a Ball Monkey comp or something. Just if it's not working out, don't feel like this is mandatory. Don't feel like this is mandatory.
We're rolling out on Ball Monkey next map.
I actually climbed a lot of SR and Ball Monkey comps with some friend of mine.
Nice.
But yeah, don't feel like this is a mandatory comp that you have to run 100% of the time. Look to swap whatever's comfortable for you, whatever works out for you better in the round. All right? These are just ideal starting points. So yeah, DPS, off tank, or main tank, whatever you want. Look to take this high ground first, clear it out, make sure we're good. We have good information, good scouting potential. If they're also running dive, they'll probably jump here too. Okay? Or like one of them will at least look to take this space. Once we have here, it kind of engages on which way do we want to go, how do we want to play it. If we want to play, we'll give them space. I feel like we could win this point just by letting them come into us, and we play off their mistakes. That's how we'll play it then. We'll go main and left side and go straight to point. Or if you guys want, ignore this high ground. Don't worry about it. Go left side, straight to point. If you guys want to play it slow, defensive. If you guys decide, I want to go head on head, same things. Take this high ground. Once we start to creep up, most fights will break out right here. Now, this is when you decide. This is right when we decide if we jump in or if we play for counter dive. Now,
probably jump in if we see something like a trigger, like something big, like
if it's an opportunity, exactly.
Right.
But
and
at
then
the same time,
counter dive if we need to play defense.
At the same time, it's situational now. You've noticed that this team's dive is pretty solid on the last map, right? They're kind of dominating you guys. So we can look to counter dive now. They were kind of rolling us. What was their threat? We identified their threat and we looked to counter dive it. Their Sombra was getting really good hacks, right? Okay, we'll look for Sombra. Diva, start scouting that Sombra. Spam till we find that Sombra. We found Sombra. Look, Sombra here. Sombra feels the pressure, forces out Translocator. She's gone. Now it's 5v6.
5v6.
Yeah, exactly. Now we look for our opportunity. Okay? So it's not always just, we have dive comp. We're just going to look to jump in, find something weak. It's situational, right? You have to be able to adapt on the fly. Oh, they have Sombra. They were diving really hard last round. They were winning the dive battle. Let's look to counter them. Ooh, found Sombra. She's out. Now we can engage. Okay. Most times, fight's going to be breaking out here. If you find opportunity and you have the chance and they're not threatening you guys too hard, look to dive. Get your dive off. Don't just always focus the first target you see. Sometimes if you see a monkey at half HP, oh, but there's an Ana at 1 HP that our Ash head dinked right here. We could look to kill this instead of the monkey. Boom, Ana's dead. Monkey will die right after because Ana's dead, right?
Yes.
So just don't always
Theoretically.
just don't theoretically don't just tunnel vision on the first thing that you see. It's okay to change targets, just as long as it's not like, oh, monkey, never mind, break, never mind, Lucy, never mind, Ash, never mind, Ana, never mind, monkey, like, as long as we're kind of sticking to something, monkey, he doesn't die, fine, he's not gonna die if both his supports are up, so let's switch. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're able to win this fight. We get point control. We capped. It is what it is, right? Now where do we set up from here? We can have our supports playing here in this space. This is where most supports will play, right? On this catwalk space, either playing semi-defensive, semi-aggressive on this middle space, playing really aggressive, playing up here, kind of just having a narrow sight line, or playing further back, having the really wide sight line, but playing in a really defensive position where a lot of their kit is rendered useless. So it just depends on where your supports play. That's really, really important. That's what really factors into this space. If your supports are playing right here on this left side, we have to play defensive because they are playing like your supports are playing really offensive, so we have to play defensive because they can't see this really wide angles on us, right? They can't see this wide angle on this high ground from over here, right? They're playing really aggressive though. They're playing really, really aggressive though because they can control this space with their abilities and they control all of main with their abilities. They're playing a lot more threatening. But if they play in kind of the half space, play that high ground, you can play low ground, you can play that high ground, you can play mega control. You know, you have a lot more opportunity. And if they're playing the really wide angle, you have to play safer as well. They can see you, yes, but they are further back. They have to be able to see you and have to be able to land their abilities in time to be able to heal you. You know, Baptiste, your Baptiste, your Ana, your Mercy, they all have projectile time. Your Mercy's beam, yeah, but she has to fly to you to get in range through the beam. So it's all projectile time. You have to make sure you're in range to get that healing that you need in time. Okay?
Right.
So best position for supports is this kind of middle position. And if you guys are forced back, right? Well, first let's finish here. Supports are playing this middle point. You guys are still positioned. Where do you position? DPS,
I would
off tank, this top left. This top left right here. Sometimes your main tank, if you want to decide to drop onto them, not a bad idea.
I usually play right there.
Yeah.
Where you're looking.
Your DPS, you guys can play here and wait for their engage. Depending on what you play, right? If you're playing Sombra or Tracer, you could look to get some spam from right side alleys, left side alleys, you know, just try and get something going for your team. All right, pepper them down, look for a cooldown or something, find something to go on. Yeah, that's a Sombra specific tip. Build that shit fast. You're useless without it. Your hack, you know, depending on who you hack, but EMP is why you're playing Sombra, let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
So either this position, flanks for flanker heroes, for your snipers, don't always be predictable on this position 100% of the time. If you're playing this position 100% of the time, you will get countered eventually. Maybe not in the first scrim, maybe not in the second scrim, but eventually you will start getting rolled in this position. Okay? Play it once. Okay, I got a headshot, cool. Play it twice, works out. They start putting a little bit of pressure on you, switch. We have this position. Boom, 2 headshots. Oh, they know I'm here now. Boom, right here, this position. A little more narrow sightline, but still very powerful. Boom, boom, another 2 kills. Another fight win. Oh, but they're pressuring there now. Let's play further back. Defensive position, yes. Still very strong. Okay? So just don't be super predictable on your positions on this map. They will call you out on your bullshit. You got it? You good?
Yes, sir.
They win those fights. They force you guys back to point. What do we do from here? Our supports. We're playing here initially. We could look to rotate here. As the team fight collapses onto the objective, you can look to give up this high ground supports and play back here. This is a lot safer for you guys. This is a strong position. Again, this wall kind of obstructs, but you can dip on stairs. You can play wider, and you all have this protection back here to rotate and escape to. For your DP, or even for your supports, depending on the situation. This coast side right here, not too bad. Some cover, some health, not the worst. This is okay. This high ground right here for your DPS, really, really strong. His fight is breaking out on point. Really, really strong. This high ground for a damage dealer is amazing. Why? It goes above their shields. It can force out all their healing resource. Why? A lot of the time, their supports would like to come up here for their team pushing point or play on these stairs. You're playing this cover right here. You kind of jiggle peek and kind of just farm them. You farm whoever's on point, playing your damage dealers on here. Your tanks, they're the ones contesting the point. You guys are the meat shields. Sorry, not sorry. It's the life of the tank.
Yeah, I get it.
So your tanks, they're the meat shields. They're the one contesting the point. If your tanks cannot, they drop super, super low. That's when our kind of mobile DPS or survivable DPS jump on or just kind of contest the point. Okay? But if you're playing a hit scan, look to play these powerful positions, whether it be Soldier playing this high ground or Ash playing the same high ground or Creep playing the same high ground or your Widow playing longer angles. Okay? For your Tracer, this position up here isn't so important. Or your Sombra, it's not the most important thing. Kind of just going in their flanks and kind of being annoying to their backline is the best play you can make as a flanker hero. Whether that be Genji, whether that be Tracer, whether that be Sombra or Doomfist. Okay? Same thing with Reaper. With Reaper, it's more of a survivable character that can be played into rush dive comps, so he would be more of a point contester. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Unfortunately, we didn't get to Mecha Base, and I really
Mecha base play Ryan. Got it.
Yeah, I really need to take shit, and we're out of time anyways. So to sum up Mecha Base, Brawl comp, Ryan comp, probably the strongest comp. But if you have to 3-3 splits, double shield comps, also a good idea. We have
High
Scrim
ground's still
tomorrow.
important.
What's up?
I said the high ground's still important. The
Yeah,
ground.
high ground is super, super important, especially for your DPS on that map. If we're playing Brawl comp, holding top left, best option. Have one of your players scout, whether that be Lucio, whether if you're playing the legs, just someone scouts right side, or someone scouts coast. Most of your team plays the high ground. Okay.
Right.
If we're playing double shield, same ideas apply. That the high ground with the the first high ground that you engage on that most team fights break out on, that's super important. But if you're playing double shield, super super strong position is coast side catwalk, that high ground above point. That's really really good position for double shields. Whether that be 3-3 split with your Arista playing on the main high ground and your Sigma group playing on the catwalk high ground, or vice versa. High ground's really really important, and more so for the DPS. Okay.
Okay.
Supports play wherever you're needed, wherever you feel safest, and wherever is the best for your team. Okay? Tanks, you're meat shield. So just be a good meat
Meaty.
shield. Okay. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Yep.
Like,
Is Thursday a job review?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah. Thursday's VOD review. Are you guys free Wednesdays? Who's not free Wednesday? Let me know now, because I might switch them.
I would prefer the Thursday to be the VOD review, because if there's any day this week I'll be late, it's Thursday.
I'm here Wednesday, but not Thursday.
Okay.
Let's do Scrim Wednesday, if that's possible with the team.
Yeah, agreed.
We'll play it by ear. We'll get more info
'Cause
tomorrow.
I know for sure I can be here Thursday. I can be here Friday. I mean Wednesday and Friday. But I don't want to VOD review Wednesday and then miss a Scrim on Thursday.
Okay. We'll play by ear. Like I said, we'll figure out more of the schedule going on tomorrow.
Okay.
Other than that, we're good for today, and just be ready for tomorrow, guys.
Sweet.
okay.
All right, guys. Also, hit me up for one-on-ones. I'm not going to chase you. You do have to get one-on-ones. I am keeping track of who has been coming to me for one-on-ones, so come to me. We can set up some time
Yeah,
for me to even just look at it.
replay codes.
play the game then. That's also important.
I play 4 days a week, 2 hours.
Nice.
So
Wait, is that the scrim?
Mm-hmm.
Like, nice.
so just play some more, find something, just set up some one-on-one time. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I could. Yeah. If you don't have anything
Awesome.
else, I could
Scrim
do
is
some scrim codes.
best.
Yeah, I do.
I want you to
Yeah.
run
So
my
tomorrow.
hen brain Giga Chad when I tried the cold lessons, the one-shot tracer, and she recalled.
So tomorrow we're gonna try implement some of the stuff on the maps that we picked. We're gonna play match 1 map pool. Okay. So just let whoever the
Okay.
scrim partner know that we're gonna be playing this map pool. Other than that, thanks for coming, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.
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 Okay.
Bye.